Anyways, we are looking at, I believe this is kind of semi-finals, quarterfinals, whatever. I already mixed them all up, doesn't matter, it's best of one. It's a losers bracket, it's the DeVoid year-end tournament, which is taking place 18 days after the year has ended. And we are looking at the main base of DeVoid ClickMan, which is playing Terran here on the bottom left corner on White Rabbit, and he is playing against SandStorm, which is playing Protoss in red colors here on the right top corner. SandStorm is walling off the Reaper jumping pad, so if anyone's wondering, sometimes on the maps there are these lines which are marked down, the places where the Reapers of the Terran player can jump into the bases successfully for the scouting. I don't know why they get so special advantage over any other unit, but these are the jumping pads for them. But yeah, the special snowflake unit of Terran is there. Actually, ClickMan is stealing gas from the SandStorm right now, and his SCV is getting punished for it. But the gas refinery was built big enough, so that's a probes pulled off the line and actually taking resources, so that's quite a bit of a punishment here for the Protoss player. The cybernetics is being dropped, the natural is being dropped, which means that the Protoss player is ready, getting ready to build some adepts. Didn't see, I think the first one actually was Marine which was built, so there's actually no Reaper out. There's only SCV, the scouting SCV, which has been battle scarred quite a bit, and it's going to be building a bunker here, and the command center for the natural is being built on upper ground by the Terran player here. So this is a combination which I'm not casting actually as often. It's very rare matchup which I'm casting, Zerg not Zerg, the Terran versus Protoss. So this is a special moment for me to acquire some new knowledge which I have no idea about. Anyways, the Adept has been chrono boosted. We know Adept is really good in dealing with the Reaper, but there is no Reaper, but Adept will be sent with a Shade to scout out the opposing side, what the Terran is doing. Meanwhile, there is a Warp Gate, there is a Stalker, and the tech of choice is actually Twilight Council for the Protoss. The natural is getting slowly saturated. Meanwhile, the Terran player has gone for 2 factories. This looks very similar to what he was doing against the Zerg here. The Adept actually gets his wow. So the barracks lifted when the Adept shaded in, and Adept shaded in successfully, killed the SCV which was scouting, and then tasked to kill the factory, so still his life were avenged. But the Ghost Academy has been scouted, and there is actually Ghost Academy already here. So what's it gonna be? What is the combination here? There are ghosts being built, and interesting. Tech lab on the factory, and there is factory number 2. The starport was started, but now it's gonna be factory number 3. So I think it will be Hellion Cyclone Ghost combination. So Ghost pretty much is there used against Protoss to disable the shields with an EMPs, which is really strong spell because that's taking a lot of HP down from the Protoss, or just revealing their hulls to be able to damage. And indeed the combination looks like going to be Cyclone, Hellion, Ghost. The Ghost is left here to patrol, and let's see what he is patrolling. Is he expecting that there's gonna be Warp Prism? Don't know, maybe. That's a possibility because robotics facility has been built. There are 3 gateways right now, there's Blink being researched, there's a lot of Stalkers, but actually there is Immortal coming out. Immortal is the key answer pretty much for the mech units. I'm not sure about the Stalkers, but I think Stalkers could be better because they can blink like defensively, just blink away, or blink forward according to the situation. But the Stalkers are pretty bad against siege tanks, particularly. Talking about siege tank, that's a siege tank being made probably for defensive purposes. Yep, there is Cyclone and Ghost number 2 and Ghost number 3 being made, and the command center number 3 also being made right now. There is the Phoenix, hallucinated Phoenix from the Sentry, and the the Nexus number 3 is being also built right now. Well, what the Phoenix will scout? Will it see anything? Question mark. Pretty much just finished buildings. There are a couple more siege tanks joining in the party right now. There is a supply block for the Terran player, which was just finished because there are more supply depots being built in the wall here at the natural. Meanwhile, there is Forge, gateway number 2, pylon, extra pylon being built, and the probes being sent to the third base to start saturate. So far, we have a really passive game, except the fact that there are blink stalkers over here, which might have taken one siege tank shot to the face, and one of the stalkers might have gone down. Well, there is defensive Hellions and Ghosts waiting for anything, and there is Observer, which is pretty much seeing everything that is happening. Actually, this Observer can be revealed by the EMP, so that's like immediately revealing the Observer. Actually, Stalkers managed to snipe the supply depot, which won't make a big dent in here in army, but the Terran player has more made his Hellions into Hellbats. The EMP lands and reveals one Observer. Actually, the Terran army has a little bit more supplies, like 10 more army supplies. It's actually 5 siege tanks and Hellions and 4 Ghosts going over to the other side of the map. So what will the Protoss have for defense? The Stalkers were recalled. The charge has been researched, so Zealots are there ready to be with the charge. The charge lots are really good against the siege tanks, but the Protoss, the Stalkers are the problem for the siege tanks. Well, the Immortals would be really good thing to add, and there is Immortal number 2 joining in the army. Well, the army supply still is a little bit ahead for the Terran player, but the worker amount here, the economy, technically is bigger for the Protoss player. For some reason, Guardian Shield was engaged, and one charge lot is being left here in the front to scout if anything is coming to attack. There is a 4th Nexus for the Protoss player right now being built. Some more factories are joining in. That's 3 more factories joining in the production. +1 vehicle weapons is being researched, and the engineering bay, interesting. The armory was built first and then the engineering bay afterwards. Well, anyways, that's also being added in. The Protoss has 2 Immortals. It's not producing more Immortals though, and sending some Zealots pretty much for the front to scout out if any army movements are happening. Well, still the army supply for the Terran player is 10 supply bigger. There's a lot more siege tanks joining in the party. Blue Flame is being researched, and +2 vehicle weapons also is being researched right now. There are Archons joining in the party here for the Protoss. He has researched +1 weapons, and +1 shields is being researched right now. Technically the shields is the problem, because shields will be removed by the EMP. The question is, would the armor actually give some advantage? Well, knowing the amount of siege tanks that could be sieged and could be doing fire to this army, I'm in big doubt actually. The Terran is taking this upper platform, which is really good position, and here comes the fight. The EMP lands and pretty much disables all the shields for the Protoss player. He's actually going for +1 air weapons, so there is a silent transition to air units in the plan. Yeah, the siege tanks are still here and they are shelling away everything that is coming close to them. The EMP is removing the shields, and siege tanks are taking care of the rest of the stuff. that's a painful stuff. There is Hellbats ready to take on the charge lots. One of the siege tanks goes down. There is a run by of Zealots actually, which took care of 5 FCVs, but looks like Hellions and siege tanks are going to take care of that. And meanwhile, the 4th base has been compromised for the Protoss player. All of the probes have died pretty much, or get killed in the action. And yeah, the Protoss is rebuilding the 4th base now in the front position. There is still the +1 air weapons being researched, so I'm curious where is the Stargate and what is going to be the units that is going to be built from that. It's ghosts. I don't know if... Well, I think if it would be like quick transition to carriers, it could be actually quite painful for that, because ghosts will have to do all the job alone and it would be able to kill a lot of stuff, but right now at this position, without the fleet beacon and Stargate, I don't think there is anything. Well, the Stargate is being built, that's good. There's +3 weapons being researched for the Protoss. Well, the economy has been leveled out pretty much right now, so the income now is technically bigger for the Terran player, because he has a little bit more workers, he has 4th base, and he has mules, so whenever he presses the mule hammer, it's something. There was a war prism, warped in some zealots. Unfortunately, not much of a success. It's scanned, it's seen, and 3 more turrets are joining in the fray. Fleet beacon is being built, the shields is being built, research the shield, the 2nd level shields, and Stargate number 2 is also being built here in the natural. The 4th base is being saturated a little bit, but the army supply for Terran is twice as big, and here comes the attack. It's pretty much max out from the Terran player, which is meeting like not even close army of Protoss right now. It's +3 vehicle weapons being researched, it's +3 +3 weapons for the gateway units, but that's it. 2 carriers are now being built. Will they manage to pop out before anything? I think the Protoss has chosen to go for the counter attack. He lost the 4th base. He's preparing run by of Zealots over here for the natural, and the other group of army is going here. It could be base trade situation here, which could be caused by this attack. The Immortal is here on the line, the SCVs are being built, there are the Zealots, and they don't see the SCVs unfortunately, they are going for the natural. Meanwhile, this natural is being pretty much occupied by the huge mech force, the Hellions, siege tanks, and ghosts. One of the Stargates is disabled. One of the carriers will manage to pop out. Will the other one pop out? It was cancelled. I think it was cancelled at the last moment, so there is only 1 carrier. Another carrier is being started here. Meanwhile, there is 1 zealot over here taking care of stuff, and there's some stalkers and zealots taking care of this base, but it's a base trade situation. And I think Terran wins the base trade situation, because Terran can lift their buildings and fly away, but in this case, there is nothing to do. There are interceptors from the carrier, but I think the carrier is too close and it could be sniped down by the ghosts, so that is actually not a good place to keep it. There is another carrier which is going to pop out. The question is, can it manage to do anything? The ghosts must be targeted. The EMP was shot. The ghosts have been cleared up. No more ghosts are there. There's only cyclones, 2 cyclones, which are being focused right now by the carriers. Not anymore. There is the 1 cyclone left. It's locking onto the carrier and it's down. The carrier did survive, but all of the buildings have been deceased pretty much in the main base. Some of the siege tanks are evacuating, but they are meeting Stalker force with Immortal. Immortal is probably going crazy right now. The trades are quite immense, I believe. Yeah, that's like 10k resources lost more for Protoss than for Terran, and I believe that's a big difference. And yep, there is no main base for the Protoss. There is third base and fourth base. Some tech is being rebuilt, but there is already one Thor and few bots joining in the party, and that will be too much, I think, for the carriers to get rid of. Here comes the Thor, and all of the Air Force has been destroyed. Game is over. I think it was no GG, but ClickMan takes game and moves forward into the bracket versus Undertaker.